Baby, lock them doors and turn them lights down low.
Voice is getting deeper, brother.
You like that?
Hell yeah.
How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I think my voice might feel a little deeper too. It's getting raspy.
You think the 36 hours in Nashville changed you a little bit?
I think it's changing. I think if I spend any more time, I might really get to singing.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
Here we go. Come on now. You have a naturally deep voice anyway, so it's like you probably could.
Do I really? Because I hate hearing myself talk.
No, it's just I think that you just have a naturally deep voice. Like, it's just a lot deeper than most of the guests we have on the show.
Thank you. So do you.
I mean, yeah, it's not like a good thing. I'm just playing. No, I'm just playing.
I take it as a compliment.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is like, it's better than having a super high pitched voice.
Do you ever find it hard to project your voice? Like, if you're in a room and it's loud and like you're trying to talk to somebody across the room, I feel like I can't. I've tried,
I know you always have that problem.
Like, I'm screaming, but like nobody hears me.
Literally today, I was standing in the kitchen and you were in the your room, which, let me just say, sidebar, we got a really sweet fucking Airbnb.
The distance between our room is like 300 feet.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like, you got to really project your voice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, like, this place, we got lucky.
We did get really lucky.
Well, I was staying in the kitchen earlier today and you went to go say something to me and it literally sounded like you were whispering. And I'm like, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to speak up. Like, you're going to have to like fucking
because you are all the way across the house.
Exactly. And then you went, I could tell you were doing it. Like, you were trying to say whatever you're saying really loud. And I still had no idea what the fuck you were saying. I was just like, I'm pretty sure I just said yes and we just moved on.
Yeah. I was like, and then when you walked out, you asked me, like, what did you say? And I was like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I'm not saying it.
No, but this place, bro. So we scored. Mm-hmm. It's Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to our mamas for being cool.
Shout out, Mama.
Like, with us obviously going on a trip during Mother's Day. But we got this place on like a deal.
Yeah. It was
like one of the cheaper places out of everywhere that we looked, man. It's got a fucking rooftop patio area thing. It's got a porch, a really nice like private porch.
5 rooms,
3
bathrooms,
4 king size beds.
Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and so it's been nice just having like the space. Obviously, what we kind of look for the most is an area where we can record the podcast and have it look like, professional and whatnot. And dude, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, I know. I love it, bro. And all the furniture is really nice in here, which I like. For me, that's not a huge thing, but like sometimes you'll stay at like an Airbnb that like maybe with someone's house or something like that.
Older.
And it's just like everything's just like dated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like staying in a modern place. I don't know why. And my place at the house, it's like very modern as well.
Very modern, yeah.
But you want to jump into Win of the Week?
Let's do it.
Let's get this shit popping, man. I'm excited for today's episode. Win of the Week.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you can go first if you want to. It's 97.
Episode 97.
Crazy, bro.
My win of the week, and I think you're going to agree with me on this one, is these freaking cowboy boots.
Brother.
I'm going to tell everybody this. My first ever pair of cowboy boots. Yours too, yeah?
My first ever. This is my first time ever putting my foot in a cowboy boot.
I tell you, my foot might not ever come out of these cowboy boots.
They are so comfortable. I will say this, like, they're not more comfortable than like slides. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that there's like so much like protection.
Yeah, I feel like
I mean, like if I'm going to wear like a full shoe, like these things are comfortable, bro.
Yeah.
And obviously you got some pretty expensive cowboy boots as well, so.
I figured, my feet aren't growing anymore, so these cowboy boots.
I will say, like, one of the highlights of this trip so far was last night, those chicks just complimenting our cowboy boots.
Oh my gosh, I was like, wow.
I wanted to ask people this so bad, but I didn't want to blow our cover. Like, do we actually look like cowboys?
Blow our cover. Okay, listen. So we dressed for the part for Nashville right? Nobody else was fucking wearing what we were wearing. Like, there was a couple people, but you can tell that, like, I don't know, like me and Nick, we definitely stood out. We had our big ass belt buckles out, our cowboy hats, cowboy boots. Like, it's not that we stuck out, but like, it was just funny. Like, I expected to see a lot more dressed like we were.
There was a lot of cowboy hats,
so
that kind of made it easier, but. It was just the belt buckle, the boots, like everything, just like the whole package.
We were stunting on all.
Oh, we were, and we honestly, I think a lot of the places, it looked like me and you were having the most fun out of everybody. So it was like immediately we were making friends everywhere.
People were coming up to us, just trying to join us. It was so fun.
It was, and then a couple of the guys at Honky Tonk, was it Honky Tonk Central or whatever, bought us those drinks, bro. And I was like, that's clutch. Like, just be nice to people, bro. It's like you never know. like you can never tell like if you're gonna actually like somebody just based off of like seeing them interact like with what you know what I mean. It's like if you see someone at the bar, like, and sometimes people are just dicks for no reason. And but no, I mean so far, I mean I haven't met a soul in Nashville who's been an asshole.
Really mean, no.
And sidebar, I haven't seen a bad driver in Nashville yet. I'm just saying, if we were in Jack's right now, we would have at least would have had at least 6 or 7 interactions with a bad driver by now.
We probably would have gotten hit by
really
cars.
bad in Jacksonville. I don't know what it is, but I have not, like, even when we were in an Uber last night. It's late at night.
Our
no
first
one's
Uber
driving
ever.
like an asshole.
That was fun.
First Uber ever.
That was fun. I had to download the Uber app. I bought it. I didn't know what I was doing, but he showed up and we.
It's not like we've never used Uber, but it's
I've gotten into an Uber, but I've never done it. Like I've never had it on my phone. It's always been with somebody else.
Yep. And for me, it's always like you said, with somebody else. It's almost like. Me personally, bro, like if I'm going out, it's usually with a group of people anyway. So it's like someone in that group usually has the Uber app.
Yeah.
And if I don't have the app, it kind of like lays me from like, having to deal with all the bullshit that goes with it. Obviously, I'm Venmoing whoever's paying for the fucking Uber,
That shit was easy.
But yeah, dude, that shit was really dope.
And how responsible of us,
That was really responsible. Well, I mean, neither of us had the app. We kind of need to get it eventually, but it was just kind of nice.
And it made the night so much easier. You don't have to worry about parking.
Yep.
You get dropped off right in front of the bar.
That's actually the best part.
And then when you have to leave, call a fucking Uber.
100%.
You get pulled out. You get dropped off. That shit's so easy.
When we called it from our place, the dude was 3 minutes away. So it was like as soon as you placed the order, we were like rushing to get downstairs. Like I thought we were going to have like at least 10, 20 minutes or something to like chill. But then when we were on the way out, I'm thinking it's like, bro, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, almost 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a lot of Ubers available. Like everyone at Broadway's trying to get out of there right now. And bro, sure enough, call him up. He's like 12 minutes away, which 12 minutes out there on Broadway is like a snap of a finger, bro. Yeah. It's so quick. Yeah. And then, no, man, I had a great time last night, bro, to say the least. That shit was so much fun.
What's your win of the week?
God, win of the week. I almost forgot.
I know we just ran about Boots.
I know.
Boots went a long way.
Hey, shout out Boots. No, my win of the week is when you ask someone to take a picture and they actually know what the fuck they're doing.
Yep. I can't relate, but that definitely happened.
I hate to say it, you really cannot relate, but it's you're getting better. You've gotten a lot better.
Thank you.
A lot better. Trust me.
I don't know what it like. I mean, it seems simple, but there's angles and shit. Like you gotta have the eye.
Last night because it's just me and you out there, so it was like obviously we're not going to be taking a bunch of pictures of each other all fucking night, But I did want to get a picture of both of us, like post on the podcast page or something before we get out of here, and. These two girls were like taking pictures of each other, and I was like, "Would you mind just snapping one of me and my boy real quick?" You know what I'm saying? Da, da, da. And
she put on a whole performance,
bro. Like 3 minutes later, this girl is still sitting there, like
we have a whole album to
like
go
getting
through.
like close to the ground, like angle shots and all this shit. I'm like, I don't even know what she's doing, but then you look at the pictures and you're like, okay,
thank you.
Let her cook.
Yep.
Let her fucking cook. That's my win of the week, man. It's just. It's simple, but if we're being honest, it's huge.
It is huge.
If you just know how to fucking take a picture, like, because okay, we've all let me say. Like
I feel like you like this so much because I suck.
No, for sure that does play a little bit of a role. But here's the thing: is if we're being honest, I'm not picky about the way the picture turns out. Like, it doesn't have to be like the perfect picture that I envisioned in my head or whatever. Like, as long as you can just snap a clear image, then I'm good.
Yeah.
But what kills me, bro, is when you like ask someone to take a picture or, you're just like taking a picture with a group of people or something. You look at the fucking pictures afterwards and they're like blurry. You know what I mean? It's like the whole like it's not focused or they're sitting there shaking the whole time or
honorable shout out for when your win of the week is when they hand you the phone, they say, look at it and let me know. And they don't leave until they say, like you say it's good.
That's good.
That's like,
that is,
damn,
that is
okay.
clutch. That is clutch. But I mean, also most of the time I'll just say, oh yeah, it's good. Just because I feel bad for holding them up. If it's a stranger, I'll feel bad for holding them up. But if it's like one of our friends taking a picture of some of like the boys or something, you know what I'm saying? Then I'm fucking, you ain't got nowhere else to be, bitch. Fucking take another picture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But no, like when a stranger knows how to take a picture. It's a very simple task, but it's something that you don't really, it's something you kind of take for granted.
Of course.
Until a shitty ass picture gets taken. Because when that happened, it was like towards the end of the night, we were about to get out of there. We might go back to Broadway. Maybe there's a chance we might go back to Broadway before we leave, but maybe not. And so if we didn't,
Yeah.
We would have had no picture.
But we got it. And
we got the picture. It turned out good. So, yeah, shout out to the person that took that. That's my win of the week, bro. I'm excited for this week's episode. You want to jump right into it?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this is episode 97 going down right now, live from Tennessee.
We're getting close to 100.
Dude, I'm excited.
Let's go.
It's just going to be fire. What up, OGs? We are back, episode 97 going down right now, and I'm here with my brother, Joey Allen.
Yes, sir. What's up? How you guys doing?
How you feeling, brother?
Feeling good. Happy to be here.
Excited for this episode, man. I'm a huge fan of this artist. Everyone that watches this pod knows that we aren't big country music guys, but this dude, this guy gets my blood boiling, man.
Once I found this guy, dude, he's on my radio every single day or on my fucking Bluetooth. Like,
come on.
So we went through every single, his whole playlist, and it was pretty much like 90% of the songs was like save. So I'm excited for this one. Huge guest in the building today, y'all. Please give it up for the man himself, Josiah Siska.
What is happening, boys? What's happening, OGs? Glad to be on the podcast here with Joey and Nick. We're hanging out. Y'all are in Nashville. What do you think?
Brother, we're loving it.
We're
loving it.
Is this y'all's first time here?
So I've been before, but when I came, it was flooding.
Oh, snap.
So
we
couldn't do anything,
that's
basically.
tough.
We planned on going to Broadway and doing all that, and I was like 21 at the time too, bro. So we were excited.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was just raining too hard. It was flooding. Like, there was no way we could have gone out and done anything. So
every time I've been, it's been with family.
Y'all get to go out while you're here?
Oh, yeah. We went out last night.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, there you go.
Brother, it was a good time. We
Saturday. Saturday night.
We went
summertime. You guys had a good time.
Yeah, we had a great time.
We had to put that Tennessee whiskey to the test. You don't know like if it's really going to be, because back home it's tequila.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's all the boys pretty much drink tequila or some kind of beer.
I think the whiskey put us to the test.
It'll
do that.
It was a good night.
Yep.
It was, and it was a good crowd too, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many people.
Like the energy is great. Like we really didn't run into like a asshole out there.
Yeah, I mean it's good folks down here. I mean you get a lot of tourists, which they're from all over the place, so they can be assholes. You'll get the Karens, but for the most part, down south here, Middle Tennessee, it's good folks.
And you just made a tour run down in Florida.
We did. I just did a little run in Cocoa Beach, and then I was in Key West for the Key West Songwriter Festival they had going on there. Oh, it was great. I did 7 or 8 different shows down there throughout the week in Key West, and we hosted a ranch round, which me and my girlfriend, her family's got a property out in Leapers Fork or Franklin area by the Natchez Trace Bridge called the Trace View Ranch, and we do this thing called Ranch Round where we have these different songwriters and hit songwriters come out and play our shows out on the farm. So we wanted to kind of bring that brand down to Florida. Was the point of the trip, really down to Key West during the festival. So it was really cool to get to host a show and get to put together a show and book a show down there on the island and bring the brand out there. So that was fun. Yeah, we had a good time.
You said you did 7 or 8 shows within the week?
Yeah.
Was that a show every day, or is that like
multiple a day?
Really?
I think I did 3 on Wednesday, 3 on Thursday. No, I mean but definitely, because we were drinking margaritas the whole time.
I gotta ask: is your voice this low because you just sang that much, or is
it's always like this?
No way.
It just gets like really froggy if I'm really hungover. It'll be like down here. I'll be like, "Hey man, how we doing?" And it's stuck there, and I can't move it.
It's dope that you can even do that.
But usually it hangs out around here. This is the usual range. Casual range. Gotcha. Yeah.
Do you think you perform better when you've had a couple margaritas in your system? Does that kind of help it a little bit?
No, but we were in Key West, so I mean, hey, you got to have a good time when you're in the islands.
100%, bro.
Got to keep it going too. I mean, it's a long
being
week.
from Florida, man. We're in Key West. Like, I mean, I've been there at least 6.
I've been banned from Key West.
He got banned from Key West.
I've been to Key West a couple times.
That's right. Awesome. He couldn't go to Key West for a year.
Yeah, don't spear lobsters. Oh, wow. It's very. I mean, I get it. It's
dude, that'll get you banned from Key West. Yeah.
It will for a year.
For a year,
probation. It's like it was crazy. I'm a hardcore criminal. It's a tough life, but
you got to pick him up with
your
hands.
It's funny because he's such a fish guy.
Yeah.
So it's just so surprising that he wouldn't know.
I was just down there snorkeling, spearing some lobster, getting dinner, and then I get back to the boat ramp. FWC shows up, opens the cooler, sees holes in their heads. I was like 16. I didn't understand. I mean, once he told me it was wrong, like if they're too small, they can't go back. They're dead.
Yeah.
I get it. Whatever.
How was the weather when you were down there?
Oh, dude, it was gorgeous. It was windy for a couple days, which was fine, and so be it. But we had a great time. We took an Airstream down there, so that was nice. One of the little Mercedes Airstream vans, but it was really windy on those bridges. We were going like that. But by the time we got down there and parked over at the RV park, chilling out, we were nice and settled in and got our sun on and went and bought a fishing rod and caught some mangrove snappers off the dock there.
Did you eat them?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I had my lady fillet them and sear them and put them in some Old Bay and butter and garlic and
That's
onion.
so sweet.
Dude.
They were fire.
Got me hungry now, man.
We're
supposed to be going Nashville hot chicken, but I'm thinking seafood.
Usually you go on like vacation or you go on the road and you gain weight. But this trip was so unique in Florida. I went on the road and I lost like 4 pounds, which I realized it was because we were walking on the beach so much in the sun, and then I'm just eating fresh fish every single day. We were going out to eat and just getting fresh mahi and fresh snapper, and
Nice.
I mean that was like, and honestly, I felt great the whole week. That's probably what kept me going.
Dude, do you not eat a lot of fish here?
No, you don't. I mean, you like catfish is good, but you really fry that, so it's not that healthy.
It's not healthy.
So like, and I mean, you can get good fish here, but nothing is better than like day of or day
Florida
before,
fish.
fresh caught Florida Keys, grouper or any of it, mahi. It's fire.
We've got so many friends, man, where they go offshore fishing like on a weekly basis, and it's just the benefit. Of knowing someone that just goes out and catches a shit ton of fish,
and occasionally they'll throw you a couple fillets.
Oh, dude,
it's like if you need
the
some
best,
fish,
bro.
you can get some that day.
Like they got a freezer full of fresh fish, man. It's just like it is the best,
Dude, that's
man.
nice.
And honestly, like down there, bro, it does have a totally different taste.
No, it does. It's better.
Like it's way better when you're just catching it right off the dock in like Key West, bro. Come on.
Yeah, we were just catching some little mangroves and throwing them on the grill after, and it was fire. It was definitely delicious. We ended up our phones died, and we were definitely drinking one of these nights, and we were fishing out on the dock, and it was like we probably got back to the park at 1:30, 2 a.m. Our phones are dead. And we're just having the best time, just throwing out some squid and catching some snapper. And time passes. We have no idea. We're just sipping on the margarita in our cup, and chilling and fishing. And we start hearing the roosters crow, and I'm like, oh shit! And then like we start seeing the sun come up. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, baby, we gotta stop. We gotta start filleting these fish right now. So she starts going to town on it. I'm trying to catch one more. And then we finally get back and charge our phones. So we look, and it's like 7 a.m. And we had pulled an absolute all-nighter just getting lost in the fishing. And it's addicting.
That's amazing, though.
When you're in Key West, you get like you get the FOMO on the fishing.
For sure.
It's like one more cast. And it's fun. So we and that was on Tuesday, and Wednesday was the first day of shows. And I had 3 shows on Wednesday, and then like an after party where I was playing on a rooftop somewhere at like 10 o'clock. So I had like the longest day ahead of me.
And you didn't sleep the night before?
Nah, man, I was up till 7 a.m. I went to bed at like 8 and slept until like 1 or 2 p.m. My first thing wasn't until 4, so that was good. But I was hurting right off the bat.
Oh, I believe
that's rough.
That was the start of the festival. So I rallied though pretty good. I rallied up. I was good.
I feel like there's a little bit of an adrenaline too, like when you have to perform in front of people, like that shit will get you hyped no matter what.
Yeah. It'll kind of like boost you up a little bit. You get a Red Bull. I was drinking that Cuban coffee. So that Cuban espresso will get you fired up.
Oh, for sure. And your music, man, is like, I feel like it would perform very well in Florida.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Like you have certain songs, 3 Tequila Floor.
3 Tequila Flow.
That one's such a party song.
Bro,
man,
that
it's
song
a good time.
is amazing, bro. Seriously, like it's kind of, it shows your versatility a lot.
Thank you.
That song can kind of show like what you can do because I mean, when we first played it, like Joey immediately starts snapping his finger.
Oh yeah,
he immediately starts snapping his finger like right away, and it was like it's like this rhythm that you carry that's just you killed it, bro. Seriously, like we can bump that every time we go.
If
out,
I would have heard that out on Broadway last night, I would have been crazy.
Dude.
I would have fucking woo.
And there's I mean, even some of your other like bigger songs, the
3 chords at a time.
3 chords at a time.
Brother.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Brother.
Thank you.
That's probably my, I mean, obviously it's most people's favorite one, but that song is a fucking hit.
Thank you
bro.
so much.
It's just the way that it's recorded. It sounds like how do people not use this as like a trending sound on TikTok or some shit? You know, just like the way it's
ding,
like
ding, ding.
and it's
Melody.
great
Thank
beat,
you.
bro. You crushed it.
Do you ever
And
get compared to anybody else, like your voice?
I'll get Randy Travis sometimes,
Okay.
and then I'll get Chris Young sometimes.
Okay.
who was the guy that
I want him to say it. Who else?
I'll get Josh Turner.
There it is.
there it is.
And I'll get Trace Atkins sometimes
Okay,
too.
yeah.
That honky tonk, but don't get donk, that kind of thing. But yeah, you know, anytime anyone compares me to someone, I don't. Some people get like all butthurt about it. They're like, I'm myself. I'm like, no, that's just like people's brains' way of like saying, oh, I really like this, and I really like you, and that's just.
I think it puts you at a high. Like, I mean, not. Like, you sound so great, and obviously all those people are like
they're great artists.
They have their
so like any one of them's a compliment,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Of course.
If you were to cover any of those guys, it would sound like the regular song.
If not better.
Yeah, no, honestly, probably better. But it's. Do you keep that in mind? Like whenever you're performing live, like you get compared to these people. Maybe I should try.
I
doing
cover
some
them
of their
sometimes.
stuff.
Yeah, I was doing a show with 615 House, and they were doing a house party down at Barstool on Broadway, and we were doing a full band show, me and my buddies, and we did Your Man for Josh Turner
That's
out
the one
there
that
with
I
the
showed
full
you.
Yeah,
band.
that's what I showed you.
Well, that one, I mean, in 615, they have a great presence on TikTok, which shout out.
That's awesome.
And my buddy Andrew Bloom, me and him were roommates on American Idol 8 years ago out in Hollywood. And he ended up doing a boy band for a little while and then a country music group. And they moved to Nashville, and they had a really fantastic following on TikTok, and really just they were always on top of it. And when they ended up moving out here, we ended up doing a few videos together. And I think the second video we did was us kind of like doing one-line snippets of Your Man. And then I finished it off with a thing, and that was like our little TikTok we did, and we posted it like, all right, let's see what happens. I did like 25 million views.
Hell yeah.
And then they posted it again and again. So that song I, of course, covered for this show because it was like 615 House, big TikTok presence. That was the song I did that people really liked on TikTok. I might as well add that into the set.
Kinda have to.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you kind of have to. So it was fun. But TikTok's wild. It's the algorithms, all of that. I mean, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around some of it. It's definitely a wild thing.
It's a different breed, bro. Like
It is.
we do the TikTok thing, but we're just posting the same clips we're posting on like all other platforms. And there was one point when we were, we didn't have any like visuals or anything. It was just an audio only pod where we would do like we'd go on there and do the trends and shit. And man, it's like even by the time we get to a trend, it's like it's already on to the next.
Saturated.
It's super saturated, and I feel like the best way to go about TikTok is just go on there and just post a lot and
Yeah, you
post
have to
whatever,
post
bro.
so much.
Just like post the raw shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
not everybody on TikTok always wants to see it. The shit that blows up is like you just talking to the camera as opposed to like a clip that we've sat through and ran through.
Right.
3 different softwares to edit and shit. So, do you try to like promote a lot on TikTok? Is that like one of your main platforms?
Well, I mean, I do well on TikTok. Statistically, it's always done well. I need to post more on there, honestly. I have an okay amount of followers. I think it's like 30-something thousand or 32 or 34
that's awesome,
or something. Yeah. And that was all from, honestly, those Josh Turner videos that I did with On the Outside.
25 million is crazy.
But it was
bro.
insane.
So if it was a cover that blew up, then you kind of have to just
you kind of have to keep doing that cover, which for me
Or
as an
different
artist,
covers.
I would do like, and then I would do a video of me redoing that video on my page, and it would do like 150,000 or a couple 100,000. They had 4 million followers, so it had a nice spark when it boosted. But and then I'd post a video of me singing one of my original songs, it'd be like 200 views. And I'm like, yeah, that's about right.
That's how it goes.
I'd do some stupid trend, and it would do like 150K, and then I'd post the original song and be like 1,000 views. And
Isn't it so annoying?
Okay, that's
just the
TikTok will humble you
reality
real
of it.
quick, bro. Like we every time me and Joey like have a banger clip, or we'll even like set up a question to be a really good social clip, that clip never does well.
Yep.
It never. I mean, it always ends up being like our worst. Like,
I would say just have like no expectations.
No expectations,
because you never know when it's gonna have traction or not.
It's just got to come naturally.
It's
man.
the weirdest videos that blow up.
That blow up always.
Never thought would happen.
Always. I mean, my For You page right now, it's like this Swedish singer on like Eurovision that's doing like some like Euro papa song, and it's like it's dancing, and it's like I try to get away from it, and then it just starts like it's flooded over my whole thing, and now I'm fucking singing the song at the house, and I'm like, it's taking over my whole feed, and it's just wild, like how the algorithm works of what it wants to push, because I'm sure that all started in Europe and like all the disco Europe songs, but then now the algorithm's taking it to America, and now it's like the new Gangnam Style, and I'm like, all right, here we go. I guess that's what TikTok wants me to watch for the next week. Now it's going to
pop up on our phones.
Now it's going to pop up on your phones because it's listening. Yeah.
Whenever I get a category of TikToks that are just like filling up my For You page, it's always something that I have no interest in. Mm-hmm. It's like an excavator like pulling dirt out of the ground. You know what I mean? Or it's like
I like watching that.
The guy's throwing the pieces of ice, and then it like films the ice breaking when it hits the cement.
I do love
those. Those are good.
Great. Those are quality.
Or dropping big rocks in the water.
Big rocks in the water from a bridge. When they do it off the big dam.
Have you seen them like pry? It's like a boulder from the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
It goes all the way down into the lake.
That's all I need right there. I know. That's all I need.
That's
Can we go
quality.
Do that? Can we go find a mountain and do that?
Oh,
I mean, in Arizona, probably. Yeah. California.
When we talked a little bit about Florida,
but
where are some of the other places that you've toured where it's you really enjoyed it, man?
Well, I mean, so when I was touring the country for radio, when 3 Tequila Floor came out, because me and my label at the time, we took that song to radio, and we did a radio tour, which was a crazy fun time.
How does that work?
Yeah, what's a radio tour?
So you fly from state to state. Sometimes a few flights a day, and sometimes a few different radio stations a day, and you walk in. Sometimes it's something like this, where we're sitting on a couch and we're just kind of talking and hanging out, and I play them a few songs acoustically, and then we play them the record, and maybe go out to lunch and get a beer, and then all right, I hope you play it on your station when it comes out.
You're trying to sell them?
Yeah, and you go around the country and you do that, and it's very old school still. Country music still has that old school aspect to it, and I loved it. I loved getting to meet so many like incredible radio DJs, and then getting to meet the DJs I grew up listening to on my hometown stations. Mm-hmm. We did 94.9 The Bull, and we did all these different country stations that were it was so cool for me to get to go in there and put the faces to the names I heard growing up, and then to get to have my song on air and hear it when I'm driving through Georgia was the craziest thing. And, we went to a lot of states. It was a few month span. And went everywhere from Portland, Maine to Portland, Oregon to California to Texas.
Do they tell you if they end up playing your song, or do they just...
Well, they report it into the label, and they're reporting that, hey, we're spinning this on air, and they report how many times they spin it, and then that controls how the chart moves on radio airplay, and however many spins you get is however many times you're moving up, and however many reports you have, or however many stations, or you have super spins where they're playing it a shit ton at one station, and that all affects your chart. So when it's like a number one song on radio, on country radio, that's like you're getting a lot of spins to get to number one.
Wow. Okay.
Right.
Does that count as a stream on like streaming platforms?
No. It's completely different.
Wow.
Yeah.
So if someone's blowing up on like a country music, or if they're blowing up on
Spotify or whatever, to get that number one, it's like a number one on radio.
Wow.
I don't know how long it has to be at number one for it to be like considered like
that's
an official
still impressive,
number one.
Yeah, that's really dope. I mean, like that's.
Yeah.
You could be number one in radio and then still have like a couple million streams on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like stack those together, bro.
Or you have people that have 150 or 350 or 500 million streams on Spotify, but they still don't have a number one in country music because they haven't gotten the song hasn't gotten picked up by radio yet.
Wow.
Did you have a good success rate going around and talking to those radios?
Well, I mean, we had a lot of stations that played it. I had a lot of fun. The tour was great, and the relationships I made, those are lifelong. Like I still talk to a lot of the friends and DJs that I met at different stations, and they're fantastic, mentors in a way of sending them a song or two to listen to. Like, hey, I'm working on this, to have that contact to get to like send it to an actual country music radio DJ and have them give you a authentic answer of, hey, would you ever play this if I release this? What do you think? And like to have relationships like that, that's so valuable in my opinion as a songwriter and as an artist as well. Sure. But yeah, man, I mean, it was a hell of a time. I'd say my favorite places I went to were probably Vegas and New York, because I'd never been to New York.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, I love New York. It was fantastic. It was really busy, which was interesting, and it was wild. There was no grass.
Yeah.
There's none. It was all
the Central Park. There's a little bit of grass.
We weren't near that.
Yeah.
It was all
It's the only
concrete,
place with
bro.
grass.
Yeah, it was another world, honestly. Completely different world. But really cool. We went to a steakhouse. It was called Sparks Steakhouse in New York City. Yes, and it's this old steakhouse. It's been there for decades, and it's famous because a big mobster got shot in front of it back in the days of the New York mobsters, and they had 3 of his henchmen in Russian trench coats and Russian hats to try and pin it on the Russian mafia, and they stood outside the steakhouse and shot him up, and he was the king of New York at that time in the mafia. Can't remember his name. But we got this whole story on it when we got there, and we're sitting down. And he's like, "Oh yeah, he sat here, always in the corner, because he had to see the view of the whole restaurant, know who came in and who came out when he was there with his gang." And it was wild, and like a lot of presidents go there when they're in New York and eat. And the food that I got to eat on radio tour was it was incredible. I mean, the restaurants that we got to go to in these cities, we would be in a city, and then we'd pick the best restaurant that we could find that was open and had an availability. And
does your label pay for all these things?
Yeah, sometimes it depends. It depends, but we have to eat good.
How long of a tour?
You can't be on the road and be eating cheeseburgers the whole time. You're gonna feel like crap 3 days in. We're doing all these performances. You got to make sure you eat really good. Damn, we ate great. Oh God.
Yeah. See, I didn't even realize that was what a radio tour was. You always hear about that whenever, like, we've had country music artists on here before, and they'll speak on, like, doing radio tours or things like that. But it's never. I didn't put it 2 and 2 together. You're like,
it never got broke down like that.
It's kind of like they're just
it's
doing
like a sales
podcast
pitch,
run,
kind of, or it's
very
like
similar.
You're introducing a new artist to radio as well as introducing the song to radio before it comes out, or before it has its impact day where they send it out to the stations to see if they'll play it or not. So it's really like it can be political, it can be all this, but at the end of the day, what it really is, like what it was for me, was just making new friends that love country music just as much as I do.
Seems like it's all about connections, bro. Like,
well, it was a cool, like, it was just every room you get to go and you have a new opportunity to meet someone that maybe could help you in some way in your career.
100%.
But not just that, but like you also have so many common things with them. Like both love, so a lot of stations we loved outlaw country, so we'd get along talking about Waylon Jennings or Don Williams, and we'd be hanging out just singing old school Johnny Cash songs, and like that. Those were the memories that like made it so memorable for me and so worth it for me. It was so much fun. You step back and you're like, damn, that was awesome. And those relationships are really cool.
That's dope, man. And I feel like if you have a really good like first impression with that person and you guys end up going to lunch and everything goes great, then there's like a higher chance that whenever he's on radio, he's like, oh, this dude reminds me of Josiah, or just brings up like something where it sparks a conversation. They want to talk about you because they like you outside of just some music shit,
There's no guarantee, though. I mean, every artist is great at being an artist. There's never a guarantee that they're going to play their song. They're going to look you in the face and go, I'm playing this song when it comes out. And they don't. And that's what it is. It's just business. But it's just the name of the game, man. It's just the name of the game. Wasn't the right song, so you go to the next one.
Yeah. Well, 3 Tequila Floor is like I think it's one of your most popular songs.
It did really well organically on YouTube, which was crazy. So it didn't blow up on TikTok. It didn't. It did okay on radio. I think it did like in the mid 40s or something. I have no idea. I'd have to look again, but maybe mid 50s. I'd have to look. But it on YouTube for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason. It was Madison Glover and Joe Thompson, and they did a choreographed. They choreographed a line dance for 3 Tequila.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then they posted it and taught it in their classes and in their line dancing classes. And especially Madison Glover, shout out. She's an incredible award-winning dancer and dance choreographer. So people started picking up the line dance, people that are fans of Madison and her dances. And then it just started spreading like wildfire across the world. So there were, within like a span of a few months of the dance getting created, talking like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of YouTube shorts and YouTube videos of people in dance halls in South Korea.
That's sweet.
Be South Korea, and it'd be 250 South Korean girls in like cowboy hats and cowboy boots.
Dancing to 3 Tequila floor.
Dude, that is hilarious.
And yeah, and it's like when you release a song, you never fucking know.
You
like,
never
what
fucking
you're
know.
gonna see,
Oh, that's
or what's
so
gonna
funny.
like make the traction. And then like in Taiwan, I saw a video, and all these videos. I mean, there's thousands of them, and all the videos have like 400,000 or 500,000, 200,000 views. I mean, just like,
so people know that song,
right? And that's not just 200,000 people watching the video. They're probably watching the video because they want to learn the dance, and that's 200,000 people then learning the dance and doing the dance at the dance hall when they go down. So that was like eye opening for me as an artist, because you would never think of like what kind of impact that could have on a song. And it was mind boggling. There was one video I saw, it was like in Taiwan. It was like 500-600 people in a mall and like the food court, and they'd cleared out all the tables for a dance competition for 3 Tequila floor. Oh. And you've got all these people dancing to it. And I'd never seen anything like it. And then Australia, then I saw one that was literally, it was 6 or 7 ladies in the Swiss Alps. And they were in the Swiss Alps in Europe. And they had the mountains behind them and everything. And they were set up their tripod and were doing the dance in the Swiss Alps. So that, the craziest one I think was I don't know where it was. Maybe it was Afghanistan. Maybe it was Iran or something. But it was like 40 Muslim women in hijabs line dancing to 3 Tequila floor. And I'm like, of all the things as a country singer from Georgia living in Nashville, that when you release a country song, country music is worldwide. Like,
you're the man, right? Because like
The
you have the whole
like,
fucking world dancing to it.
Well, and
audience.
dancing is such a powerful language, you know. Like, there's no words that I could say to make something like that happen. But music and dancing, I think it really like brings people together. That normally, like, why are South Koreans and Australians and all these crazy, all around the world, all these crazy different places that you would never think of. Why is everyone dancing to your song? You know, man, it's just a fun dance. It's a fun song. And there's no barrier when it comes to that. There's no language barrier. You know, I'm sure a lot of the people that are dancing in those videos probably don't even, you know, speak English or speak little English if they do at all. But it's just such a cool thing that, like, you don't have to have fun and to dance and, and have a good time. I didn't learn the dance.
Come on.
I don't know the dance. I need to learn the dance.
so funny.
I need to learn the dance. That's probably inevitable.
Because you have to post a video of you doing the dance.
Me doing the dance.
I know that song in particular is like one of Joey's favorites from yours. Do you have any specific favorites like that stand out to you personally?
Probably something that's not out yet. My favorite released song, I think, is 3 Chords at a Time.
For sure.
Because that's such a story song for me, and it really strikes a chord with, like, I guess my story as a songwriter and my story with country music. So I do love 3 Chords at a Time. I'd say it's probably my favorite that I have released. Favorite unreleased, I don't know. There's a lot of really good ones.
Might have to leak one of those. The Boys might have to do it. Honestly,
I might play a little snippet in a little bit. I'll maybe
I love it.
Do a little teaser.
Yeah, that's the 3 Chords at a Time, bro. That shit goes hard, man.
Oh, thanks, bro.
What is the story behind that song?
So
Sharon.
I grew up a preacher's kid. The song's about a truck, right?
Yeah.
but I grew up a preacher's kid. My dad, he would always, tell me what to do and that it was, what was right. And I wouldn't listen because he was always right. And, so I was the typical kind of a little bit backslidden preacher's kid, but I was always, on the right path, but just kind of walking a little slow. But yeah, and then I found country music and, a lot of the morals of the stories and the songs that I would listen to, those storytelling songs, like good example, Three Wooden Crosses, like the moral of the story would be very similar to the moral that my dad was trying to teach me. I wouldn't listen if I heard it from my preacher dad, but I would listen if I heard it from Johnny Cash for whatever reason. So that's really what that song's about, of how I grew up 3 chords at a time. That's the hook in the song. And it's like, you grew up with Johnny teaching you this and Hank teaching you this and Conway teaching you that. And I guess the world just makes more sense with a country song, where the right is always right and the wrong is wrong.
Yes, sir. Yes, bro.
But the song itself takes that sentiment and it makes it all about a truck. It's Grandpa gave me that old Chevrolet, didn't run, but the radio still played. And then you go, and then in the second verse, you meet a girl like Conway sang about, and you fix the engine because I had to take her out, and then the 3 chords at a time. By the end of the verses, you're sitting on the tailgate of the truck, strumming the guitar and sipping wine, and that's 3 chords at a time, and then it takes it back to all these little things, and the bridge is that AM dial saved me, about listening to gospel music on the radio and how that radio saved your soul, and then it takes it, I guess everything makes more sense with a country song. And for me, I think the storytelling of that song is my favorite maybe that I've ever done, but definitely of the songs that I have released, I love that song.
Yeah, man, that's
my new favorite song.
Definitely a hit,
well, listen
bro.
again, you'll hear the story going down, and I love that story. It's really true to who I am.
I love the way you say Chevrolet in that song.
Yeah,
because I'll tell you, I don't know if I've ever said Chevrolet.
Chevy.
You know what I'm saying? Just like it's just the way that he says it. I like how country music, man, it allows us to just kind of be cowboys for a little. Like whenever a country music song is on, we can kind of have that accent a little bit.
Yeah, that's
you know what I mean. Whenever you're singing along with
yeah.
it, so no, dude, you crush it in that song, bro. Have you ever performed at something that kind of like blew your mind, or where you're kind of starstruck a little bit, and you're like, the nerves really kick in? Was there any performances you had? I know you mentioned that you performed the national anthem at
the Darlington,
the Darlington
500 Speedway over in South Carolina. That was intense. I mean, because those are moments that where you when you're doing the national anthem, let alone for any event, whether it's just like a high school basketball game, it's already a do not mess this up, because everyone's going to know. And there's no hiding it, and especially if you're in the South, everyone's going to be really pissed off. Mm-hmm. So you don't want to piss off these patriots, these good patriots,
NASCAR, bro.
And especially at a NASCAR race in South Carolina. And NASCAR is where the whole "Let's Go Brandon" thing started. So they really want you to do that national anthem right. And so I couldn't disappoint these folks. And we get there and it's sold out. I mean, probably 50,000 people.
Wow.
And it's the starting race for the playoff series, and then they threw me like a curveball a little bit. I had a couple beers before, but I was all right. And they threw me a curveball, and they had like a marching band playing "God Bless America." God bless America. They were doing that, and it threw me off because right when they ended, I was supposed to start singing, and I started in the wrong key. I'm a bass, and I started a little high. But I got range, and I was all right, and I had a beer or two to warm up my voice. But the last note they ended on was the note that I ended up accidentally starting on. And it's too late. You can't go, oh, wait a minute. Oh, you can't do that. You got to go where you're at.
Yeah.
So, I just buckled up, man, and I'm like, I cannot mess this up. I'm landing the plane. I'm going to go up there and hit that rocket note, and it's going to be just all right. And boy, I was pushing. I was damn near screaming, but I hit the note and I landed the plane. And
you got to do it for America.
Got to do it for America. Well, and it was intense. I mean, we had a big flyover, about 5 or 6 planes flying over that we had to time. So whenever you have a flyover, I mean, we had a guy standing 30 feet in front of me from where I'm singing on the stage there on the racetrack, and he's going like this. and then we go like this, and go, like take a big breath, and it'd be like because you want to time it right when it went over, and I'm just like, you're thinking about all this shit, and then you're trying not to mess up the words, and you're thinking like, damn, I'm in the wrong key right now, and this guy's flapping at me like a flamingo over here. I mean, he was wearing a bright pink shirt. I'll never forget. He looked like a damn flamingo flapping his wings around, and but you know what? It was awesome. You get an adrenaline rush. It's this thrill. I think the pressure is what kind of makes it so exciting.
And the crowd had to roar. It
was great. Yeah. Oh man, it was great. They were really sweet, man. They were awesome. And I when I do the anthem, I try and stick to the melody and do it respectfully and not try to be too much of an artist, because that's not the point of singing it. So I had a good time there in Darlington. Them folks not have a good time.
Is it bad to
No.
draw out those notes like some people do, or just to sing
it
original?
I don't care. And I think the best one ever done is Chris Stapleton at the Super Bowl.
Shout out Chris Stapleton.
Shout out.
Yes,
I mean, Whitney Houston did a damn good job too, but that Chris Stapleton anthem, I think, is number one for me now. I mean, that's monster right there. And he was going all over the place. So, but I think a lot of folks in traditional America, they appreciate a traditional anthem, and so that's the anthem I like to give them.
Yeah. I think if it's someone like Chris Stapleton, you give him a little bit of a leash with that. What I mean? You're like, okay, he can kind of go where he wants with
this.
You
got Mr. Soulful himself.
Yeah, but if it's it's probably better just to do it just the way that it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be done.
I mean, plus typically you don't really have that much range when you're like a smaller artist. Like Chris Stapleton, bro, he's such a legend in this game. It's like.
You can do whatever you want.
You can do that however you want, brother.
You do it however you want.
And, was there ever any performances besides that one that kind of stuck out to you where those nerves kind of kicked in and you're like...
Oh, yeah. When I got cut from American Idol.
Let's talk about that.
I wanted to dive into this, bro.
I was like 17, 18. I think I was 18 by the time I got to Hollywood. I was 18. And, excuse me, we had group rounds on Idol, where they put you into groups of 3 or 4, and you have to do a song as a group where each you kind of take turns, and it's stupid. Because I'm just, I'm a solo act personally. I'm a solo artist. I could still do duets, but to do a group like a boy band with choreography where you got to to the left, one to the right, to the left, and you got these. So, I love the people that were in my group. They were so sweet, and I'm still friends with many of them. We still follow each other, and it's all great. And it was actually my idea to do the Uptown Funk song, because I'd heard it maybe once, and I was like, oh, that has a boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, how cool would that be to have me beatbox that part, and then I will do a little thing, and I'll do a country twang on Uptown Funk, and it'll go all right. And we're rehearsing and up till 2 a.m, and you have to get up at 7 a.m, and then you're filming by 8 in the Dolby Theater there on Hollywood. And oh man, I just fucking blanked.
No way.
I forgot every single word of the song.
Way.
And I started, and I did it, and I did my booms in a different key than the person did their starting note on, because we did it a cappella. So it looked like the booms were my fault, but really the person wasn't hearing my low notes well enough to know where I was singing my booms. So I was like, boom, 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 boom. And I'm doing all that, and that's, it's going all right. And then it got time for me to sing my part. And I'm like, yeah, this hit that dot bomb, Michelle Pfeiffer, that bop bomb, bit bomb, that bomb bomb, that bop bomb, straight masterpiece. Bana, Anna, da city. I got my bomb. I was just scatting the whole fucking thing. Uptown funk you up. And I got that part right. And then there's all this weird choreography going on, and they're trying to do a couple steps to the left and clap, and I'm doing the wrong way. And we get done with it, and I think it was Keith Urban or whoever it was. They're like, all right, you 3 come here, step up forward. And there's 3 other people, and they're like, you guys are going through, I'm sorry, that wasn't it. I knew it wasn't. So I wasn't tripping, I wasn't making a scene, and I thanked everyone for my time. And
that's doing the group thing, that's gotta be so difficult.
We just should have done something in my wheelhouse.
How did you end up on American Idol? I want to know about that process, man.
I went down to Savannah, Georgia, and I auditioned at the Martin Luther King Jr. Center, and I did bare bone auditions. So I stood in line and waited. Hold on, my phone's getting blown up.
Yeah, that's got to be.
My buddy Andrew, speaking of Idol, my old roommate from American Idol texted me 8 separate text messages, all one words. Yo, you want to play COD? Question mark. Like,
he was really trying to get your attention.
Now. I'm like, all right, I guess I summoned him, his energy.
Yo, we got to wrap this up quick, okay? We got COD. We got COD on the line.
I got some Call of Duty on the line.
That's funny.
No, yeah, man. So I auditioned in Savannah. We did that bare bones. I stood in the line for fucking 5-6 hours in the sun. Waited my turn. Did about 10 auditions in front of. No, it was about. I wasn't 10. It was like 3 the first day in front of producers where they,
Did you do the same song each time?
Yeah, same song each time. I did Johnny Cash's Ghost Riders.
Good shit.
Yeah, I did Old School.
That's a good choice.
And that aired on TV, so I got a really good opportunity out of that. And they didn't air my Uptown Funk, so that was really nice of them.
That's good.
So they only aired the good part, and then when I got cut, they just did like fan favorite Josiah Siska goes home today, and it's just me like walking out the hotel with my suitcase, from group rounds, and they were really nice to me. So thank you, Fox. Y'all were really chill about that.
That's dope, yeah, because I feel like that could kind of hinder artists, like, because you have the whole world critiquing you essentially whenever they're watching American Idol and whatnot. So,
and they loved the Johnny Cash song, which was cool. And that did well on Facebook. They posted it when that was like the main feed, 8 years ago, and YouTube, and it did well on Facebook and YouTube. And then on TV, it was like 4.5 minutes, or 3.5-4 minute segment they did on me on the very first episode.
That's awesome.
And it was supposed to be the last season of American Idol. It was season 15 because they were going to shut it down. And then ABC picked it up, and now they still do it. But Fox was like 15 seasons. That's it. So it was advertised as the first episode of auditions of the last season of American Idol. So a lot of people were watching, which was really a great opportunity for me to have my segment on TV of me singing. That was a cool moment, and it was wild. It was a buzz. It was fun.
Were you able to make any connections from that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I made forever lifelong friends through that season too.
Nice.
Then moving to Nashville right after I got off the show, spent about a few years in town, and then I signed my first record deal on Music Row and recorded all these songs that we were talking about, and got a couple of them on radio, and got some more songs I'm very excited about that are not out yet. They're unreleased, but I've written them and I'm getting them recorded, so I can't wait to release some new music independently coming up. That's going to be fun.
So you're independent now?
I am independent now.
That's awesome, brother.
So a few months ago, I made the decision that I think it's the right move for me to just kind of explore things on my own and take on the independent artist way of doing things and releasing some music that I want to release that I like, when I want to release it. And I'm always incredibly grateful for Black River Entertainment and everyone over there as a team for everything that they did and giving me a shot as a young artist in Nashville and signing some guy off of American Idol and just giving him a chance in town. I mean, that I can't thank him enough for that, but I'm very excited to get to do some things on my own now coming up in the future.
Full control.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, in the last episode we talked about just like the
pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons of like it being with a label and things like that, man. And so it definitely can go both ways. But honestly, it kind of depends on the person too. Yep. Like some people, independent is just the way to go, man. Mm-hmm. Just being able to have like the keys to your own music and everything that you want to do, bro. I feel like that's just the way to go. I feel like it'd be the more enjoyable route in the end of the day, kind of not really having to share a lot of any of the success or anything like with anyone besides the people that actually got you to that point. You know what I mean?
It's not just that. I mean, if the label gets you to that point of success, I don't mind sharing it with them at one point at all. They helped get you there. They get their slice of the pie. But the independent part, what really I'm so excited about is to have my opinion in my opinion. And that's going to be nice when it comes to my music and what I release and what's me and who am I as an artist. That doesn't need to be something that's written on a whiteboard for 15 other people to decide who I am as an artist. Right. That's something that I tell you what it is.
100%.
And I tell you what that is through my music that I write. And so that's something that I'm excited to get to do, is to really kind of let my followers and let my listeners and everyone that's supported me on my journey through music up to this point, kind of let them know the real, really just behind the curtain, authentic version of Josiah and who that is and what that sounds like. So I'm really excited for people to get to see that.
Yeah, dude, I feel like people can learn a lot through your music, bro. So if you guys haven't already, they're probably sitting there on Spotify queuing up songs as we speak.
Come on.
Read Tequila Floor.
Read Tequila Floor, obviously, 3 chords at a time. Joey's top 3?
Hold on. First, because I wanted to ask this question like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, bro.
Growing up, who did you listen to? Like, who influenced your music taste?
So I listened to a lot of old music. At first, having very religious parents, I wasn't really allowed to listen to any secular music, which made me want to be even more of a, rock star and rebel as much as I could at a young age. So when I found country music, it was really Johnny Cash and Marty Robbins. It was old country. And then it turned into Willie Nelson. And then I went even further back down. I said, all right, well, let's rewind again and go back to Hank Williams and old Hank Sr., like Walmart kid Hank Sr. And that just started to feed this addiction almost to country music. It was like it was almost forbidden in a way. I couldn't listen to this song, but I really liked the way it sounded.
Did you ever get caught listening to it?
Yeah, I remember I got caught listening to Brad Paisley's "I'm Still a Guy," which is so stupid.
That's such a funny one to get
caught listening to. But I was like young, and it was like, oh, well, that song's about sex, or it has a line about it, so you can't listen to it. And I'm like, oh, well, but I like it. But
so funny.
They got more lenient as I got older and whatever, and then I really started to fall in love with country music, with the culture behind it, with everything. I played a video game called Fallout, which I just made a TV show about that came out on Amazon. And on the old Fallout New Vegas, they had great music. It was just great. Fallout 3. And that was like when I was in like late middle school, early high school. And the soundtrack from those games ended up making me YouTube the artists. And then from YouTube recommendations further on, I ended up finding David Allan Coe and George Jones and George Strait and Conway Twitty and Keith Whitley and all that. It was funny. It was a stupid video game about the world getting nuked. Ended up like in some way opening up a musical influence. For me.
That is so funny, bro. Yeah, because I've played Fallout tons of times, bro.
It's a fantastic game.
Dude, the soundtrack's
fire. And it's all like that Marty Robbins, the Big Iron, all those cowboy songs. Yeah.
That's so funny. You never know.
Yeah,
like you never know like what influence. That was a great question, brother.
Thank you.
You want to get into Joey's top 3?
Now we can do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right, boys. Joey's top 3. Episode 97.
You like drinking whiskey?
Oh, yeah.
I want to know your top 3 whiskeys.
All right.
Brother.
Number 1.
Flavor 2?
Sure.
How expensive can we get?
Brother. I want to know your top 3 whiskeys.
Number 1's Pappy's.
How expensive is that? I don't know. I've never heard of it.
$1,000-something.
No way.
Oh, my God.
That's good whiskey.
That's dope. How much would a shot of that be, you think? If you like, if the bar,
they don't usually have it at bars.
Yeah.
But a hefty shot.
Why do you like it? Just tastes
delicious.
Good? Does it
smooth?
Smooth.
What do you think of, like, what about that whiskey makes it so smooth? Is it the way, like, do they
just had it a few times. It's just good. It's built different, man.
Do you think if the price tag's a little bit higher, then the whiskey automatically tastes a little bit better?
No, because I'll say my second favorite is Woodford Reserve.
Okay, there we go.
I've
heard that one.
And that's like a more, like if I'm like, man, you can only have one more glass of whiskey for the rest of your life. I'm like, all right, get me a good glass of Pappy's and give me a nice square ice cube, and I'm happy. And that could be the last glass of whiskey I have, and I'd feel satisfied. Woodford, that's my go-to probably. I love Woodford. Woodford Reserve, it's great. I've got a bunch of different single barrel selects, and they're just it's good bourbon. It's good whiskey. It's Kentucky, but it makes a great old fashioned. I love old fashions. That's like, in my opinion, that's the only cocktail you can order. Like, I mean, I unless you're in Key West and I'm ordering pina coladas, margaritas.
Yeah,
and all that.
I was gonna say Key West the exception. That's for sure.
But yeah, no, man, I like Woodford. And then I'll shout out a local whiskey bottle that I do really love. The Leapers Fork Distillery out where we live in Franklin, Leapers Fork area, south of Nashville. They're a local distillery, and they make phenomenal whiskey. It's really, 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 really good. I've done a podcast with them over there, actually, where we tasted some of their different bottles, and it's fantastic. It's good stuff.
Top 3 whiskeys.
What you got?
I don't know why I asked this because I only know of 2.
No, I'm going to go.
You're probably about to say them. So.
I'm going to go Crown Apple.
Yeah, there's one.
For sure.
Yeah, Crown Apple. Man.
That is number 1, too, honestly. I hate to say it, but...
we don't drink, okay?
Then Jack Daniels. Well, we do, just not a lot of whiskey.
Standard.
It's really not a lot of whiskey, though. It's Florida drinks, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Florida
we're at the
drinks.
beach, bro. We're not drinking a fucking, like, Jack and Coke.
You're drinking White Claws.
Honestly, we can't... The seltzers, we don't really get down with a lot of seltzers.
No, yeah.
But...
I like to get to the point, you know?
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I like
Let's
white
roast that
trash
process.
beer. That's my favorite. It's just PBR, the trashiest, whitest beer you can get.
That is a white beer.
Oh, it tastes, oh man.
I'm gonna go number 2, Jack Daniels. Even though I always just get really like I have to fucking.
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah. Jack Daniels. I don't know. Just changes your attitude a little bit.
Does.
The number 3. Let's go. I'm okay with Woodford.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm okay.
Woodford's
with
great.
Yeah, like I've had it multiple times. I know my boys in Tallahassee love it, and so shout out them. Let's go Woodford.
Angel's Envy's good too.
Okay, yeah,
Heaven's
actually,
Door.
I've never even had those.
I've
My
had
number
Angel's
1's
Envy.
definitely Crown.
Crown. Yeah,
Crown and Coke. Okay, you said what was the only cocktail that you can have? What was
Old
that?
fashioned. Well, that's actually so.
What's wrong with a Crown and Coke? Is that not good?
Yeah, that's an old. Well, no, that's just a Jack and Coke. No.
Jack and Coke.
Old fashioned's got the bitters and it's got a little cherry in it sometimes, and maybe like
true.
a little bit of the orange peel on it, and this and that. And they do it on a nice square ice cube so it melts evenly and distills a little bit of water.
Yeah.
I mean, they make it nice. So it used to actually back in like the 1940s, 1930s, that era. There weren't, like, if you went up to the bar and you said, "I'll have a cocktail, please," they hand you an old fashioned, and that was the only cocktail they had on the menu. And that's all they made.
Oh my
if
God,
you want, so is you can have beer, or you can have a cocktail, or you can have just whiskey on the rocks. But yeah, if you ordered a cocktail, you would get an old fashioned.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, and that's why it's called old fashioned cocktail.
Yeah. Oh my God, I didn't.
They're good.
Know.
Isn't that great?
Dude, that's interesting.
So Crown, Jack.
Yeah, well,
Crown Jack.
You still have one more.
I don't even know a third. I'm serious. Like I could cop out and say the.
Did you ever? Did you not have? Oh no, is this whiskey? It's Smoky Mountain. What is that one? The one that's real big. It's got like they're fucking.
I had this peanut butter whiskey one time.
Oh, those are good.
It was pretty good.
Those can be tasty.
Yeah.
Howlerhead?
I don't know what it was called.
Howlerhead is whiskey, isn't it?
Huh?
Howlerhead?
Never found it.
Oh, okay. Howlerhead. I think that's like Dana White's whiskey or whatever.
Is it peanut butter?
I think it is peanut butter.
Peanut butter whiskey's fire.
It's good.
I took a shot. Where were we? In Arizona, Carly? Is that where we were? With the peanut butter whiskey. Yeah, that was not a good decision. That it got a little wild. We were out in the desert, and the night ended with someone like, "Hey, man, I got some tasty peanut butter whiskey," and they're passing around the bonfire, and it gets to you, and you're like, "I probably shouldn't, but I'm not. I'm just walking to a cabin, so I guess I'll do that." And I slowly walked back to that cabin.
Yeah. There's a shot that you can do. I totally forget what it's mixed with, but it's peanut butter whiskey and something else, and it tastes just like a PB&J, bro. Like it doesn't even. It tastes. It's so easy to put down, bro.
Do you like Moonshine?
Oh yeah.
Moonshine's different, bro. Fuck that.
You said no, you don't?
They said yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Said,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I've had some. That's some serious
Moonshine's
moonshine.
different.
That'll hurt you.
Oh, that's what it is. It's Old Smoky Mountain moonshine.
Old Smoky moonshine. Yeah, that's not real moonshine.
Is it not? Okay, because
I mean, it's like it's moonshine, but like it's not like
Is real moonshine like in a gallon? Like
like that ain't gonna like burn the nose hairs in my nostril when I open the jar off.
Oh my god, bro. See that?
I've had some moonshine where when you open that shit up on a sunny day, you can fucking see the fumes coming up like it's gasoline. Like,
bro, that's the one I will always stay away from.
You open that moonshine jar and you get the buzzards drunk in the sky.
That's
crazy. How you know it's some good stuff. Dude, they start flying funny when they fly around you.
That is hilarious, bro. Oh my god.
We were in Arizona a couple years ago on the songwriter retreat, and it's in this little town up in the mountains north of Kingman there in the desert, and it's on a Native American old area, the Wallapais. That's the name of the mountains. Maybe a couple hundred people live up there, and they can get a little wily, and they're great folks. I love them, but they know how to party. We know how to have a good time up there. And yeah, this one year, there's just this big brown bottle of moonshine, and they were just calling it Mountain Moonshine, and I forget who made it, but he was like, "Yeah, I made that a couple months ago, and it's real good. Got a few bottles here. You guys just have that for the weekend." And we just start drinking it like it's nothing, But it was the strongest moonshine I'd ever had in my life. And I had the Moonshine Mumbles. That's what my buddy called it. I was just slumped on the couch, and he'd try to wake me up at like 3 a.m. because he got there later in the night, and we'd partied before he got there. We had like 15 songwriters in the mountain. He said apparently all I did was I'd be like, fall back asleep. He'd be like, "Man, wake up!" The Moonshine Mumbles. So that's you gotta be careful with that stuff because that's some powerful stuff. I haven't had moonshine in a while. I don't think I've had it since the Moonshine Mumbles.
I'll pass on it.
Yeah, I'll definitely pass on the moonshine. But hey, brother, good top 3.
Thank you.
It's a good top 3.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a solid category. One more thing that I wanted to ask you though: new music. We got anything that we can tease these people with? You got anything in the works you've been cooking up?
Yeah, I'll give you guys a little sample. From a song.
Sample for the boys?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Love it.
I'm gonna, let's see.
This is awesome.
I'm gonna do a demo, something that sounds pretty. Here, baby, which one you want to hear? You want to hear None of Them Do? You want to hear the hard stuff? Or you want to hear...
Let's hear the hard stuff.
Let's hear the hard stuff.
So this is a song I wrote about, like...
Good answer.
I wrote this about, like, battling your demons in life.
Okay.
So, like... And it's a kind of a double entendre meaning thing on, like, the hard stuff. Usually you ask for the hard liquor, speaking of moonshine and all that. But this is, like, the hard stuff dealing with, like, the real shit in life. So, yeah, it goes like this. Let's see. Is that picking up? I think it is.
Yeah, it's getting perfect. It's getting perfect.
It's easy to save your troubles for another day. It's easy to lie and say that you'll change. It's easy to order one more round, ease the pain. But it takes a man to stand up and say, I'll take the hard stuff. I'll put this bottle down. I'll pick the blame up. I'm tired of drinking till I drink. The whiskey's the easy way out. I've had enough, so I'll take the hard stuff.
Yeah.
Brother.
Shit.
Brother.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's a hit right there, dude. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
I like the. I really like the backstory behind that too, where it's like the way he's saying it can go either way.
Yeah.
It could literally go either way. You don't know what he's talking about.
It doesn't even have to be about the whiskey, but it does say it in the chorus, but it doesn't have to be that. It can. I think anyone, the hard stuff can be.
Until you
anything.
said whiskey, I was like, thinking, you can't tell which way.
I need that song in my life.
Yeah.
No, man. Well, it's coming soon. Eventually,
date?
I do not. I do not have a date, so I've got to get it recorded.
What
so.
goes into you choosing a date? Like, do you try? Is there a specific time frame where you're like,
there's a lot of elements that go into that. There's some things I'm working out right now to get the song recorded. So once I have it recorded, then I can really officially kind of start filming promo and getting things ready, and getting an album cover made or a song cover made, and then I can kind of start to tease a date. But right now, I just have the music, but that's still exciting. I'm excited about the music.
I can't wait to hear that.
I know. Yeah. Do you? Would you consider doing a radio tour for something like that?
I think to do a radio tour successfully, you need to have a record label.
For sure.
And you need to have a radio representative. I could try and do a radio tour in a van running around the country. I don't know. I mean, you really need to have a radio rep from a label with you, taking you to these meetings.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Setting up
sure.
those meetings.
A little more professional too. And I mean that makes perfect sense.
That's the way you want to. That's the way you want to get your song.
It's
played,
still
I
so
think,
cool that you even had the experience of doing that, bro. Like early in your career, that's just fucking. It just sounds really dope, bro.
Oh man, it was just this past year. It was so much fun, and even with a song, like that or any other songs I got to, the goal long term is to get some build up on Spotify, get some good playlistings, get some good social media reposts and traction, and try and then at that point get the radio, force them to play it.
Yeah, and you have tons of loyal monthly listeners. So
oh man,
it's really cool to see.
Thank you to all the listeners too. I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, dude. You I mean, clearly it's you've got motion. Your people are playing you on a regular basis anyway. So it's just keep feeding the demon. You know what I'm saying, bro? Whatever. The people want more. You got to keep giving it out. And I think that song right there is going to be one that they're going to eat that shit up, bro.
It's real emotional. People they're gonna like that one.
Thanks, man.
And anytime we're talking about whiskey, bro, for some reason, at least I didn't know this until we been up here for the last 48 hours. People love fucking whiskey.
Oh, we love whiskey.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize, bro. People are
wrong with whiskey. It's good.
We were talking about it earlier. Pretty much every person that we met last night, was they were all just drinking whiskey, and they're like, "Do you want a drink?" And it's whiskey. It's whiskey. It's it's not even you don't give them an order.
Sodas and all that
stuff.
I
like it here.
Yeah.
I think we should move here.
Yeah, that is kind of his drink of choice, honestly. I don't know if I could live here.
We should come here more.
We should definitely come here more often. Definitely come here more often.
I need the ocean. We need to just visit here more.
Yeah, ocean it'd be tough for me to give up the ocean. I think that'd be the
I can't imagine, man. I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love the fish. I love all that shit. So, I hear you. If I lived by the water, I'd have a hard time. But thankfully, I grew up in a landlocked state or in a landlocked county.
Yeah. So. If you're ever doing a tour down in Jacksonville or anything, bro, we gotta set it up.
Oh man, definitely. Yeah.
You gotta come to our real studio.
Yeah, we'll do a podcast in there, man. It'll be fun.
But dude, I'm super grateful for you coming on the podcast for episode 97, bro. We're on such a nice run with this backstretch, and I know I probably got a little annoying in the DM, so
no.
But for us, whenever we were listening to some of these artists that other people were recommending to us, we're they have motion, but I don't really actually like the music.
You should have seen the way we reacted.
Oh man, I love it.
We had the cart jumping, bro.
And last question. I know the people that don't follow you on social media, they just hear your music, probably think that you're fucking 50. How old are you? I'm just really curious.
So I just turned 26 in August.
Jesus Christ.
So, and when I got signed to my first record deal, I was 22. And when I moved to Nashville, I was 19, 18. And I did Idol when I was 17, 18.
God, bro. Yeah, your career is just up to this point has been fucking astronomical, bro.
Oh man,
just
thank you.
Keep doing your thing. You're always gonna have me and Joey to support you on the back end, and we can't wait.
You guys are awesome
again, bro. Seriously,
this is gonna be fun. I can't wait to watch it. This will be awesome, and we'll get to do this again hopefully in the future.
Do you have anything coming up? Any tours or anything?
Right now, I got to look at my schedule, but we got shows all around.
Okay,
so.
Where can the people follow you?
They can follow me. You guys can get me on Instagram at Josiah Siska. And then YouTube, if you just search my name, you'll find some music videos, maybe some old American Idol content on there. And then, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff. So Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, you can find my music anywhere and find my social media, anywhere. So yeah,
Can't beat it, bro.
Check it out.
Shout out to you, man. Seriously.
Appreciate it.
A huge honor to have you on the podcast. And if any of the OGs right now are watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, comment, let us know what kind of guests you like. Let us know what you loved about this episode. Also, if you guys want more of that content, me and Joey just dropped an episode of us recording on the road on our way to Nashville, live in the car. So that'll be available on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/OG Sessions. Y'all check that shit out. But until next time, only a few episodes left till episode 100. Y'all know we going fucking crazy for that episode 100, baby. So y'all get ready. Yeah, this has been episode 97 of the OG Sessions podcast. Y'all, we are out.
Peace.